goes to the captain, Danny Griffin. Robbie Mertz in there as well. For the first time ever, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds are Eastern Conference champions. The Riverhounds will play in the USL Championship Final for the first time ever.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mongols. This is our reaction show. The Hounds have just beat Rhode Island 1-0 to be your Eastern Conference champions. I am Mike Sparks. Joining me is Josh Brokaw and Steve Mattiace. You guys are both a little more rough for the wear than I am.
a little bit.
Josh got his Welcome to Pittsburgh towel. Josh, did you sleep at all last night?
I was up looking at videos and tweets and social media posts everywhere until around 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I was just so dead. Sore, tired. We hung out in the parking lot after the game for a good long time as the players were coming out, like trickling out. Like we had champagne going out of red Solo cups, and it was a good time.
Yeah. Steve, you were on the field. You didn't get rushed or anything like that?
No, but definitely some great interactions with the players. Jackson, I was just trying to get footage after the goal, which I missed because I went to the wrong side. I expected if we score, they're running to the corner where the players are likely to be warming up, and Robbie goes the complete opposite way. So everybody rushes over there, which was awesome to watch because it was pandemonium. Like the guys just sheer joy. And I'm just trying to get footage of them going, and Jackson walks over, gives me a look, and fist bumps my hand that's holding the monopod. I was just like, this is amazing, right? It was so good in that moment. But just to be there towards the end, hearing the guys that were not in the 18, because I'm standing right next to them trying to get more footage and whatnot. Just shouting at stuff. Shouting at the ref, shouting every time a great play was made, hearing their nervousness. And then I got a shot of a few of them out of their seats, just clinging to the board in front of them. Just you could tell the nerves, but the excitement the whole night. So it was great. So yeah.
So excited that Rory just jumped up into your lap to be part of the show. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be sitting here in a meeting or something and I'll lean back and he'll jump. There was no space for him to jump up. He's just I want to be in. So Rory, say hi to everybody.
He's just as excited about a Hounds win because he feels well represented. So hello, Rory. Well, let's do this. We'll see how much actual analysis we get into. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of feels during this episode. Josh, let's crack open the victory beverage. Very nice. What do you have in yours?
LaCroix. I'm not drinking. Behind the scenes, it is 12 p.m. on Sunday. I am. I don't need any more alcoholic beverages at this time.
Yes. So there's our victory beverage. Let's do a hey sir, and then let's get into all of the feels.
And now, hey sir, 1 minute reactions with Laura Ellen.
We did it. We scored in regular time. Oh my goodness. The last 25 minutes of the game, my chest physically hurt because I was so stressed out. But they did it. They did it. And you know what? And they went straight to the fans. Yes, that's the right thing. A sellout crowd. Oh my goodness. They did it. I can't believe it. Wow. Is this the year? Let's go Hounds!
This has been Hey Sir, 1 minute reactions with Laura Ellen.
All the feels there. Sellout crowd, 6,700 plus in a stadium that holds 5,000. Does anyone else just kind of smile at that and go, like nervously?
It felt like it was a sellout crowd.
Oh yeah.
The supporters section, Paul Childs stand, was so packed. I usually roam around. This is one of those games where I got a beer right before the game started and Las Palmas tacos, because that's every game, and then got to my spot and I did not move the full 90. Like I was just like, nope, this is where I live now. I'm not getting another beer. I'm not trying to get any food. I'm just like, I'm in this one spot this whole game.
Yeah. It looked insane. I mean, I think it makes you think, you know, with us expanding to 1,500, like, yeah, that feels, or 1,500, 15,000, like that feels legit considering what the atmosphere was like last night. Steve, you were like on the field. Could you feel the vibes?
I mean, the whole time, right? I mean, so I spent the first half up in the normal spot up by the flagpole where, you know, Justin and I used to shout at the refs from. And it was just like, it was so claustrophobic. So for me, that just is like, I am like, so like, it was so nice to get onto the field, but then like the energy on the field, the energy from the fans, I mean, fans behind me packed. I mean, there were probably 6-7 rows deep behind the pub side goal of people trying to get a good view of this. That, I mean, people like talking about like, you're not supposed to be on the steps, and it's like, yeah, where else are they supposed to go, right? Like that's how packed it was. I mean, thinking back to the Columbus Open Cup match, that felt insane. Somehow with only a few hundred extra people, this felt like it was twice as packed. I mean, it was just shoulder to shoulder everywhere. Beautiful. The fans around the stadium completely into it. I mean, Laura Ellen talked about the last 25 minutes, the last like 10 minutes. Well, I'd say like from those few really threatening opportunities that Rhode Island had all the way through to the final whistle. I mean, it was so amazing that every big play, every little play was just met with cheers. I mean, a touch on the ball to deflect it on something that might not have been threatening, and just cheers from behind the goal. I mean, I can't explain like it not being there. Like I can't explain what is so different about it, but the energy, it was not electric. It was thunderous the whole night long.
Thunderous. I love it. Do we want to, Josh, give me another takeaway. There's plenty obviously that happened on the field, but it felt like off the field, it was just as much of the talking point and the experience. And just Steve, you had shared a video, the stands looked packed, and then you looked over your shoulder and there was still a massive line of people trying to get in. It was an event, and it's I mean,
I can't really compare it to anything that we've had for the Hounds except for the Columbus Crew game. And I thought the Columbus Crew game felt like you were there, like all of us were there. It was super packed. It was super you know, a big momentous occasion, but this was even more so. That like I think it's the Crew game was like during the day mostly, and it kind of felt more, I don't know, like the winning or losing wasn't what that game was about. It was great that we won, and obviously that made it even more special, but it was just the fact that we were playing an MLS team, and then like everyone showed out for that. But this was like everyone was there trying to get us to win, and like really rooting for the team, and very much, you know, pushing for that win. And so it felt much more of an occasion and important of a match. Yeah. And it was even more busy. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
I want to also give credit, because I don't know who was behind the scenes coordinating this at the rail lines, but the trains were on point. I mean, there were probably 4 or 5 moments in the game where it was just like it needed some noise, and a train goes rolling by, beeping the horn, and it's like, oh, that is perfect, right? Like, just adds to the environment in a way that is so intangible if you don't experience it.
Yeah. Steve, you had mentioned, was it 2 episodes? I wasn't on the last show. 2 episodes ago, I think you asked what the over-under would be in terms of the number of goals scored during regular time. And I think you put it at 1.5. And I took the under. So, like, we're still doing okay because we got 1. Let's do Mondo's moment, and then I want to talk about that goal and get into some of the details from the game.
It's time for Mondo's moment, the top moment of the game from the Mandalorian.
This week's Mondo moment for the Riverhounds Eastern Conference Final against Rhode Island FC comes from none other than Pittsburgh's own Robbie Mertz, who scores the game-winning goal in front of all 6,745 fans packed into Highmark Stadium. This is the way. Congratulations, Riverhounds. You guys are the Eastern Conference champions. You're the best team in the East. And I'm so proud of what you guys have accomplished. I'm just so proud. Go out there and have fun in Tulsa. This is the way.
This has been Mondo's moment. Go Hounds.
Could anyone else hear like the single tear rolling down Mondo's face?
The helmet saved him.
Yeah. I mean, I love that man to death, but one of my favorite things about him is when it comes to things like this, and you could tell he just is like so overwhelmed and emotional that he almost loses his train of thought and doesn't know what to say. He's just trying to keep it together. He's just like, oh, like this is so great.
So let's talk about Mertz's goal.
So good.
You mentioned, Steve, that it was kind of cagey and everybody was celebrating every little thing. Rob Vincent said after the game that they went into halftime and he said, it's going to take somebody taking a risk. And this was a case of when you watch back the play, great little flick from Danny to find Robbie in space. Robbie goes one way, hesitates, goes the other way. I didn't even realize, watching the play back, he hit the ball so hard he fell over. Like he literally hit it out of the air and landed on his butt and then jumped up to celebrate. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just assuming the roof came off, like the proverbial roof came off at Highmark, Josh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like the section was wild. It was like rewatching that goal because obviously it's on the other side of the field. So you can't really tell as much in the Steel Army section. But it looked like a banger, and then rewatching it, it was definitely a banger. It was great. It wasn't like a fluke goal. He says it took a deflection. I didn't see a deflection. I have no idea what he's talking about there.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like he just shot it true. And the taking a chance is something that kind of has been the one complaint in this playoffs is obviously it's playoffs. You don't want to take too many chances. You want to keep that scoreline. But it always felt like our attack, even with the added attack that Vincent has kind of added to the team, it's always been very much it goes to the outside and it gets crossed in, and then you hope someone can get on it. And that's like rinse and repeat every single play. And there's been plenty of times where we shouted, just shoot it. You're going through the middle. It looks like you have an opportunity. Yeah, there's bodies in the way, but just shoot it. And we've yelled at Griffin and Mertz and everyone attacking. And to actually see Mertz do that instead of just putting it to the outside to a junior or someone like that, it was great to see. And that risk paid off.
Yeah. Steve, you said you were on the field where the guys were warming up. The shot basically came right at you then. Did the guys around you, I'm assuming they exploded too.
Oh, I mean, I don't even have much of a memory of what happened because it was just a rush of green pennies running across the field. It was just so insane. And you could tell they were all just they knew that was the moment, right? They knew that is what makes this dream come true. And the relief, the celebration was just amazing. I do want to go back though. I mean, Josh talked about kind of a little bit the some of the challenges we've seen in trying to find those spaces. And this goal got set up. There was a moment early in the first half where Danny drifted out wide and Junior had cut in. And Danny made an early cross from the corner of the 18-yard box. And it looked really dangerous. But this goal came about. And what I loved about this goal was Robbie scored it. Danny got the assist. But it came in from a ball from Luke Biasi. So you're talking about the 3 longest veteran players on the team that have been there through the heartbreak and the celebrations a few years ago, right? It was an attempt, right? Like trying to hit Augie and the defender makes the play, but then the other 2 guys, like Danny collects the ball, finds Robbie, and you get that goal. And to just see those 3 players be the ones that were involved was absolutely like sublime for me. Like absolutely loved it. And I think obviously they loved it, right? The other thing for me that was amazing was going back and watching the replay. Obviously not something that I saw, but just like the coaching staff jump up, and you can't see all of their faces, but you can see Bushy's face.
Yes.
And the intensity and passion, and just like it just shows everything about what this means to these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1,000%. And you said, after the goal went in, the guys felt like this was the moment.
Mm-hmm.
There were some conversations in our Slack where shortly after the goal, Mark Ibarra gets his second yellow, which is a red. At that moment, I said in the Slack, it's over. We're going to the finals. And Steve, you and Kaz were like, shut the up. Honest to goodness, I have never had confidence in this team the way that I did at that moment. Steve, was that the feeling that you got from the guys as well?
Oh, yeah. And I agree with that confidence, but also recognize that Rhode Island has some players that can make a difference. Right. Mm-hmm. And so, not that I thought that we were just going to just not do anything. I knew we were going to play hard. I knew we were going to, have really strong defense, but also know that Rhode Island has guys that can change a game. And there were moments where that almost happened, and we weathered that storm. Big saves, big defensive recoveries that made some things happen. And so you saw I think the totality of what this team is capable in that moment after that red card, because it was like coming together and doing the dirty work to ensure that result. And it was great.
Josh, you are, I don't want to say the most nervous amongst us, but we get the red card happens in literally the 60th minute. We had 30 minutes left to play. How confident did you feel at that point?
At that moment, pretty confident. I will admit, though, like the last 10, 15 minutes of this game were so nervy, and they had shots, and we parked the bus, and it was just watching the ball way too close to our section the rest of the game. And I was just like, I want it to be at the other end of the field, guys, please. Like, this is too much. And it did feel like they had it under control, but there are a couple of moments there where they got some close shots, and, Dick had to make some saves. And there was also a lot of fun gamesmanship at the end there. There was one moment where Dick saves it like it was not a great shot, but he's on the ground holding the ball and he's taking his time. He looks behind him at the Steel Army and just gives us a wink and then sets the ball up. I'm just like, oh, this is great. There's another moment where the ball gets kicked into our section and I don't know where the ball's at. It's like above me.
Yeah.
And we're just waiting for someone to throw it down. And then Dick gets another ball, sets it up, and it's about ready to take the goal kick. And then the ball gets thrown onto the field. And I'm like,
well done.
That's perfect.
Well
that's
done.
Perfect. I don't know who did that, but thank you. And he's like, oh, wait, I have to get the other ball. So but then we kind of got punished because what was it? 9 minutes of stoppage time?
7, I think.
7.
Yeah.
It should have been 4 or 5. I don't know what they were thinking.
A lifetime. Oh my God.
Yeah. To your point about Dick did make 5 saves last night, which was a season high for him.
Huge.
Which that kind of blows my mind that 5 saves is a season high for him. But he made 5 saves in total across the previous 2 playoff games. He made 5 last night, and he also got his 15th shutout in all competitions this year, which is a new Hounds record. So Dick coming up huge, once again. And I don't have the clip, but Steve, you shared some footage at the end of the game of Dick getting the fan base riled up and just yelling, one more game. Like it's just one more game. And it was a little more explicit than that.
It was.
One more game. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it was, I was telling Josh before you jumped on, Mike, that it's like I'm there. I'm just trying to get something, right?
Yeah.
to get that moment was just so amazing, because you could just see the fire and the passion. And it was so different, I think, than any other like big win that I've ever been in those environments with the Hounds, right? Like yeah, obviously this is a much bigger game than any we've ever played in, but the passion, the desire, the way that these guys are acting is just insane. And there's a task ahead, but do I have confidence in the way that these guys are acting and playing and interacting with each other that they can get it done? Yeah, they've got the chance, and it's like, I can't wait.
Yeah, that kind of segues into another video clip here I'm going to play. For those of you who are listening, I'll kind of like describe what's happening as we go through it, but I want to get your guys' reactions. So let's go ahead and play it. So the trophy's been handed to the team. Asumanu is now walking with it towards the Steel Army. You can kind of see as he turns around, he finds Rob Vincent and he offers the trophy to Rob Vincent. He hands it to him. And the team all kind of line up together. You can see they're all getting ready to run over to the Steel Army and approach the supporter sections to celebrate with them. So the pure joy in all of those guys' faces, including Rob Vincent. I showed that to my wife, Steve. I said this morning, and she said, wow, feels like a totally different dynamic, doesn't it? Like everybody's really happy and everybody's really excited. And you could see the smile on Vincent's face. Is Vincent our coach next year?
He better be.
I don't know how you don't let him take a run at this.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we don't know what's going on with Bob.
Yep.
No idea. But if Bob's not back, which it doesn't look like he's going to be, how do you not let Vincent give it a shot? He's doing it. He's undefeated at this point. So like, just give it to him. Let him try it. It is a, storybook story. Like it's fantastic, and he's doing the thing, and he's great at it. So let him take a run.
Yeah. Steve, I think you made the comment, they do the trophy celebration, which we showed at the intro, where they handed it to Danny and it was Danny and Robbie together in front of the guys with the board. It then goes to Asumanu. And like we said, Asumanu immediately, as soon as they start walking away, turns and hands it to Rob.
Yeah.
So like if not to, sort of take shots at Bob, does he do that if that's Bob?
I don't even know if Bob comes over. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if Bob comes, like he's never come over to our section before. Yeah. He likes to stay in that box, and that's, I don't know. I just don't know if he even comes over, which whatever. I'm not here to bash Bob. The fact that Vincent, you can tell he is more connected to the fandom, to Pittsburgh, to just the whole system, to the Riverhounds, which is weird to say because it's not like Bob's been here for 7 years. Like that dynamic though, it's just not there. And it is with Vincent. And it's fantastic.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, I got to chat with Rob a little bit for just a couple minutes, but I mean, just like the sheer joy and just like in some ways disbelief, right? Like, just like he is riding on cloud 9 right now. Like, just, he's having fun. He's having fun with the guys. He's doing his job and he's doing it well. But he's in the moment just as much as they are in those celebrations, the goal, right? Like he has such a connection. And I do think a big part of that, right? Like to what Josh is saying, right? Like he's connected in a way that most coaches can never be connected, because he knows what it's like to be in those positions and have the opportunity or the heartbreak of that not coming about. So he understands what those guys are going through from just a few years ago. Right. I mean, and so it's absolutely a beautiful thing to see him celebrate with them and them celebrate with him, but then him also recognize that it's like, like it's just fun to sit back and watch the guys celebrate. Right. And No, I mean, to your question, I think it's exactly what you need to do. Like, you have the opportunity to do something different next year and bring back a guy that has demonstrated that he knows how to motivate players in a way that is exciting. And you've got the opportunity, so why would you not do it? Give them a 3-year contract. Let's see what happens, right? It's not going to always be smooth sailing. They're going to have some rough patches. They're not going to win every game for the next 3 years. He'll face a loss at some point, but like, let's go, right? Like, let's see what happens. It's fun.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you? Presumptuous of you to think that he'll face a loss.
Well, and I mean, look, even for us personally, it feels like it's come full circle because I think we started this show. Vincent was still part of the team. Then the next season he went to DC. I remember doing like an hour-long interview with him just about his time in DC. And then when he came back as a coach in the academy, we did another interview with him. And then obviously earlier this offseason and then earlier this season, we had him on a bunch. Tuffy was there last night, and there were some video clips floating around of everybody just chanting for Tuffy. I think that Rob is hopefully making this a very easy decision for him. But I agree. I think he has to be back next year. But
that's another thing. Tuffy coming over, it's always special when Tuffy comes over. He doesn't do it a lot. So I was glad that he came over and like celebrated with us, and it was a great moment.
And thanked the Steel Army.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, from the bottom of his heart, you could see it. Like, he was just so grateful for the support.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll leave it at that. Guys, any other takeaways or thoughts from this one before we talk about what's next here? I'm sure there's going to be.
Can you write this any better? Right? Like Robbie getting the goal, former Hound getting the red card, like big save,
sleeper agent,
right? Like it's just like those are things that happen in these types of environments. But it's just like, man, this is just like, had you asked me, write your dream Hounds in the championship game, 2 PK shootouts, and then a game like this, no, I can't write that. And I don't think anybody could. And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it before. We talked about storylines, and that's what's important. And like getting the storylines out there, and that's how people become more engaged in this. It's not just watching the game at that moment. It is like knowing the tendrils and all that stuff. And there's so many storylines in this season and in this game. There's the adversity being faced with the Bob disappearing at the end of the season. There's the allegations that was made against Danny Griffin, like the adversity there as well. There's the fact that our acting manager is a former Hound and like what that all implies. And like you said, the red card for Marky Barra, a former Hound. Like there's just so many tendrils here that like make a fantastic story. And it's this team that we all kind of, let's face it, halfway through the season, we're like, this season's a wash. We're ready for this to be over. And then to have it all, go the opposite direction, be like, holy crap, this could be the team that does it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to throw you guys under the bus, but I always knew this was going to happen. So
get over yourself.
Listen, there was a long stretch that I was convinced we weren't making the playoffs at all,
right?
Let alone like home playoff and then making this run. So for literal years, we've been talking about how the wild card of the playoffs is that it is not the best team that wins it. It's the team that gets hot at the right moment. And this team is very different than the team that was playing 2 months ago. And it's those slight little changes completely impact, the potential outcome. And so in a lot of ways, I'll still use that as an argument to say that I don't think that the playoffs are like worth it. But at this point in time, we're riding this thing. So let's do it. Like let's win the thing. We do have another trophy that we get to add to the trophy case. Now we have the Players Shield from a few years ago. Now we have the Eastern Conference trophy. Did it make it into any of the fans' hands, or did the players hold on to it pretty tight?
No, during the celebration after the game, it kind of got past. I think Ariana had it in her hands for a little bit, and like the people around her, everyone's like, just touching the cup. And then afterwards, like it was probably a good hour and a half after the game. Some CRM members who stuck around the stadium were finally let in a little bit and like, yeah, you guys can hang out for a little bit and, you know, take some pictures with the cup. So there are some people who got pictures with the cup already.
That's awesome.
Which is really cool. And
Yeah.
they've already said, Jeff let us know that there's going to be a couple of events probably throughout the week where people can come and get pictures with it and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
It's amazing.
look out for that. That's going to be fun.
Amazing.
So
Jeff was there as part of the celebration, handing out the conference championship T-shirts. Those are obviously for sale right now. My question to you guys is, do you get one or do you wait until next week and see what happens? Where do you stand on that?
Why not both? Like there's two trophies.
That's true.
T-shirts.
That is true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Steve, do you agree?
Josh talked me into it.
Just make sure yours fits better than Robbie Mertz's did. If you watch that video back when they get the trophy and Griffin and Robbie have it at the very beginning and they bring it over to the team, Mertz is swimming in that shirt. I'm like, did you just give him a XXX? What's going on here? I don't know if it's just the way that Griffin tucked his in or something like that, but his looked like it was fine. Mertz looked like he was swimming.
It would not surprise me if they just get like really big ones and then they actually get a fit size one later.
Yeah. Listen, I was for some other project, I was looking at some T-shirts that I had bought. It was because of this, which is still sitting on my desk. The Jackson Walty wearing the T-shirt with Eric Dick on it. When I made one for Eric is a 2XL, I think. So like, yeah, he's a big dude. And if you're gonna get a shirt to like for everybody, yeah, Robbie in a 2XL. Yeah. Obviously a magical night that I think none of us will really forget, maybe ever. Has to rank up there with the Columbus win, probably surpassing the Columbus win based on the importance of it and what it actually meant, the hardware that was won from it. Even when we won the Players' Shield a few years ago, that was away. The fans weren't there to celebrate. So I think for the players, this obviously meant a lot too. I'm sure that we're not even 24 hours removed from the event. So I'm expecting there to be more pictures and videos to be trickling out over the next few days that we'll see more of the celebration and the guys having a good time. But just as great as this was, as Eric Dick said, one more. And so I'm sure that the focus has immediately shifted to Tulsa, which we have not played Tulsa at all this year. Due to sort of the change in schedule format. It used to be last year that you would play every team on the West Coast, you would play once. We don't play Tulsa this year. So we haven't seen each other. The playoff bracket, just to sort of share with everybody how it shakes out now that all of this is leading to the championship game. Just a little history for you. We beat Hartford and then we beat Detroit. Now we beat Rhode Island and we are the Eastern Conference champions. Tulsa's path was a little bit more direct in that they were the number 1 seed. And so they beat 8th seeded Colorado. Then they beat 5th seeded Phoenix. Then they beat 3rd seeded United. And so Tulsa will basically have home field throughout the entire playoffs as we travel there on Saturday to play them at noon on CBS. Guys, so like legit question for you, and I'm being 1,000% serious. Josh, if the Hounds win on Saturday, are we going to get Hounds tattoos?
I am.
Okay. All right.
Are we doing this as a group?
I don't know. If that's possible, but
I'm being 1,000% serious. Like, Steve, would you get one too? Maybe.
Oh man.
Would you film me and Josh getting? And whoever else wants to go?
I mean, if I'm going to commit to a tattoo, why not?
Okay. All right. So we're saying it right now. If the Hounds win this weekend, we're going to get a group of us together. We're going to go get tattoos. I would love to see if we can't get like Robbie or Danny to come, not get a tattoo, but like show up while we're there and even like do a little bit of the tattoo, which I don't know if that's allowed. We'll see. We'll talk to
I don't know about that last part. I don't know if I'm doing that to let Danny or Rob or any of them tattoo me, but
we'll see. We'll talk. We'll talk. But yes, if we win, we're going to do it. So if anybody else is interested, to let us know. Guys, how are we feeling about Tulsa? Josh, I know it's a lot to process. Like I said, we're not even 24 hours removed. You're drinking tea because you're shot. But what are your initial thoughts?
I mean, it's not going to be an easy game, but none of the season has been easy. Tulsa was the number 1 seed, but they only had 57 points. If that would have been in the East, that would have put them in 3rd place. So it's not like we're talking about Louisville here or Charleston even. It's more akin to North Carolina around that. But then again, they played different opponents. So like it's hard to tell where they're at as far as that goes. With that said, it's the playoffs, and like this is not the same as a regular season game. The teams are not on the same trajectory they were during the regular season, so who knows. Tulsa did have a very convincing win yesterday, multiple goals in that game, so it's hard to tell. I don't know what to expect. We've never played them, but I don't even know where they stack up in the East. So
yeah, Steve,
who knows? Anything can happen.
Steve, I'm going to guess it's going to be a low scoring affair, considering we've literally gotten 1 goal in regulation throughout the whole playoffs. Tulsa's first 2 games were both 1-0 wins. To Josh's point, they beat New Mexico 3-0 last night. What are your how are you feeling about this?
I mean, I don't know how to read Tulsa at all. Some of the things I've read, watching back a little bit, I mean, it looks like they play a little bit differently than a lot of the teams we've seen throughout this year. I think we've seen some teams that do a really high press earlier in the season, and we're not playing the same way we were then. We're doing some things that give us a lot more ball control. But I also want to recognize, I mean, Rhode Island last night, they were pressing, and they were pressing a lot, especially in the second half, and we handled them. And so looking at the players that we have, I mean, we've got one of the best defenders in the league anchoring our defense. We've got one of the best keepers. We've got a midfield that is able to disrupt. And I mean, we talked about it over the past few weeks, like which players from these games are like the player of the game. And it's been such hard decisions because of the way these guys have all been coming out and to perform. And I was thinking about that, like who is my player of the game last night? It has to be Eric Dick, but who's after that? And there's 6 guys that I'm looking at to say, man, like these guys all put in a shift and did some things. And so to me, it's not about Tulsa. It's about, do the guys find a way to get the lead and get it done? And if we can find a goal like we did last night, I think we can get another 1-0 win. Can we push this to penalty, right? Like anything can happen. And as I said before, it's not about what like has happened in the past. It's where these guys are now and how united and how cohesive they are, and the hunger and the desire to go out and try to get it done. And I mean, sure, moments of nerves last night, right? But never once did I feel like we were going to lose, right? Like that we were going to beat ourselves. Right. And that's how I feel about this game. If Tulsa comes out and beats us, it's not because we played poorly. It's because they just played better. And I'm not afraid. Right. Like I'm not nervous that we're not going to show up. They're going to show up. They're going to play well. And let's go.
Yeah. To your point about, players and defense, one thing that I missed here, Sean Suber was named to the USL All-League team. And the Hounds put out a video. It was really nice of Vincent calling Suber up at the end of practice in front of the guys, telling him, and then he also let him know that it was going to be announced that he was going to be up for one of the top 3 players for defensive MVP. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that's been announced yet.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I mean, Suber, I remember talking to him in the offseason. I've referenced this a few times where he had some goals for himself. I think he was hoping to be more offensively involved, but I think these accolades and what he's been able to do this season is something he's definitely going to be proud of. So yeah, it'll be nice to circle back and talk with him after the season. Josh, do you echo the sentiment? Or do you think that the guys are going to be nervy at all? Or is this, from what you've seen of the players and how they're feeling, do you think we're just going to go in and take it to Tulsa and just see what happens?
I don't think they're going to be nervous. I do think it's going to be hey, just go out there and freaking take it to them, and anything can happen. I don't feel like there should be any, like there's no imposter syndrome here. Like this is a great team. They're doing great things. They all have each other's back. This seems like a cohesive unit, and they should go out there and just do what they do and let the chips fall where they may. It's going to be a hard game. I'm not like delusional thinking like, oh, we're going to dominate in their house. But we've seen this team can hunker down. They can withstand these storms, and that's what Tulsa's going to give them. And my heart can't handle this, but I could see a 0-0, going to PKs just like we had to this postseason. So, that very well could be what this comes down to.
I found myself earlier. So there's a bunch of people trying to schedule some scout thing for next Saturday. And they were like, well, let's aim for 2:00. And I was like, no. I was like, I said, the Hounds have the final at noon. And I caught myself saying, so they should be done around 2. And then I was like, no, it might be like 3 or 4. Let's push our event to like 4 or 5. Because
and Mike, real question. They go out, even if it's in regulation. Are you ready to go by 4:00, or are you just giddy, right? Like you gotta push it back.
Yeah. So literally, the email right before this, I was like, let's aim for like 4:30, 5 o'clock, guys. Let's give us some
Sunday sound.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna make you guys do a score prediction, and I know that what we're about to say means total crap. But Josh, do they get it done? Do we win it all this year?
I mean, I'm afraid to even put it into the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm afraid to say like, yes, but damn well could. And that's about as good as it gets right now.
Yep.
Steve?
It's a coin flip, and I'm here for it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen last night, but I enter the game kind of at the same level of the fact that we even get to talk about it, right? Are we going to get blown out? No. But are our guys playing in the championship final next week? They are, and that is exciting, regardless of the outcome of the scoreline.
Yeah. I think what's craziest for me is if I look at this team from top to bottom, I wouldn't even consider this the best Hounds team in the past 10 years. And so, like, there's lots of pieces that I would say are probably the best in their positions. But you look at some of the guys that have come before, and it just makes me think, how did we get this far? And it's been tenacity. It's been grit. It's been willingness to kind of play for each other. It's been all of the things that we talked about earlier in the season and how they've had to overcome those things. And Sean Zuber said when he found out that he was named to All League, it's been a really crazy, tough season with all sorts of stuff happening. So I'm with you guys. It's very hard for me to say one way or another just because we don't really know. I know that there's probably going to be a lot of people picking Tulsa just because they were the number 1 seed in the West. But it's one game.
Right.
Anything can happen in one game. And so I would not consider us underdogs in this. I'm just very eager to see how this all shakes out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're in the final.
We're in the final.
So weird.
It is very weird. It's very, very weird. Guys, I had a question or a couple questions that were submitted by fans. I think we might save those for maybe next week. I feel like sort of encapsulating sort of this past game and what's coming up this weekend is probably a good way to end it. Do you guys have any kind of final thoughts before we head to Tulsa on Saturday?
A couple other notes about this game that just happened. We unfortunately broke a bell that Eric Dick's dad gave us. It's the Dick family bell. I don't know anything about this history of this. I don't know what this bell is. It was like a really chunky, like metal bell that we were, ringing during the game. And after that goal, I think it got rang too hard and it broke. He was totally cool. Like after we handed it back to him, he's like, "It's all good. It's all good."
Did did the hammer like fly out or?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah,
it's like gone.
I listen. I did not have the bell in my hands at any moments. I am clean of this breaking, but yeah. So that happened. That's a little fun tidbit. But he gave it to us at the beginning of like, "Hey, ring this bell," So.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Also, Hounds, men of the match instead of man of the match. They gave it to both Eric and Mertz.
Yeah.
I mean, both are deserving. No complaints there, but come on.
Yeah. Steve, any kind of final thoughts before we get out of here?
I mean, just re-emphasizing like the way they are in this together. And I think we've seen this in the past from the players. But if you go and watch Rob Vincent's post game, he echoes it too. But like Eric in his talked about that big save on JJ Williams where he punched it over the top. And like gave Suber credit that Suber got beat and he hustled back and recovered and made the shot difficult despite Williams, I mean, bodying him off and whatnot. And that made it possible because if he's not there, that shot is probably in the back of the net because it's not a hard shot. But he just has to rush it and doesn't get the chance to pick his corner. And so Eric's able to make a big, big important save. And that kind of environment of the players being able to recognize those things, even in the heat of the moment of how important that is, that they're playing well together and they're in this together is awesome.
Agreed.
Yep.
As Dick said it, one more effing game, guys. It's just one more game, which it's still kind of hard to believe, but here we are. So I know that the Hounds are having a watch party down at Highmark Stadium for the game. I'm assuming there's going to be a few other watch parties that kind of pop up here and there. My kids are talking about having a watch party with their friends. So like, this is a thing. Make sure, obviously, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're going to watch the game. Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah. Best of luck to the guys as they head out to Tulsa. Hopefully they enjoy every moment of it, regardless of what happens. Bring back a trophy. There will probably be a contingent waiting for you at the airport like there was a few years ago. And one more effing game, guys. Yeah. One more effing game. Thanks, everybody. We will be back with more Hounds content for you very, very soon.
Later.
One more game.